Hey everybody, thank you for watching another Trampionship Wrestling Weekend show. I am your host, The Tramp. This is all, as always, brought to you by bit.ly/wrestling calendar. Let's get into the news first because we got a lot to talk about today. On Monday, we finally got what they have been building to for a while, this Shield reunion. We all saw it coming. We all saw the Shield versus the team of The Bar and The Miz after last week, how last week's Raw ended. They threw a wrench into it. Now Braun Strowman is on that team with The Miz and The Bar. It's a 4-on-3 match at TLC. I still expect the Shield to win, but that makes it a lot more interesting. But it was great how they did it. The Shield came out, they attacked Braun Strowman 3-on-1. They've all had individual problems with him, so it was just great to see that when the three of them are working together, they're pretty much unstoppable against one guy, whoever that one guy is. But against four guys, that's actually going to be fun. It was a great way for them to actually kind of believably even out the sides a little bit. I don't think anybody saw that coming. I certainly didn't read it online. The Hell in a Cell matches on Sunday were amazing. If for some reason you're watching this and you didn't watch that, go back and watch them. The tag team match is on my list of match of the year contenders. And then the main event between Shane and Kevin Owens was a very good Hell in a Cell match, but the ending with Sami Zayn becoming a heel for what I believe is the first time in his career. I think he did some stuff where he had an unmasked character while he was still primarily El Generico and nobody knew who he was under the mask. But there's like one or two videos of it, period. Aside from that, I don't think he's ever been a bad guy. So this is going to be interesting to see how he handles that. Obviously he's a very talented wrestler. There's no way in hell he's only studied how to be a face. So seeing him handle this is going to be very interesting. We got a leaked, on top of all the leaks from Evolve, they released publicly their gift policy, and a lot of people are upset about it. Gabe Sapolsky just seems to have a habit of shooting himself in the foot. That ridiculous email that we got a little bit ago. And now, with this gift policy, he will not allow you to release gifts or streamables or anything of that nature if it is a botch, whether it's in-ring or production value, anything that goes wrong. You can't put it out unless you are Matthew. Fuck you, Gabe. I don't even do botches. That's not what I do, but just being told I can't do it, now I kind of want to do it. Because I'm low enough, he'll never find it. Hell with it. I'm going to find a botch on these weekend shows. It's going to happen. Will Ospreay became the junior heavyweight champion in New Japan Pro Wrestling. They were saying he was the first British champion, I guess because the Irish don't count. I'm not sure how that whole thing goes. I know that British and Irish and Scottish people all know who wants to be called British and who doesn't. I know the United Kingdom is a thing, and apparently the Irish will say, okay, we're from the UK, but we're not British. So technically Will Ospreay is the first British champion in New Japan, I believe. Definitely the first singles champ, first junior heavyweight champ. He's a great wrestler. It was a great match with Kushida. It was a worthy follow-up to the Pro Wrestling World Cup finals. It was a really good match, and congratulations to Will Ospreay. We have rumors of, well, one rumor, one confirmation of departures from WWE. When I first wrote this down, Neville was rumored to be gone. That has not been confirmed. He's been absent from the last couple of tapings. Apparently he is unhappy about a number of things, but one of them was being left off of the DVD for WrestleMania. So he doesn't get royalties from that because his match was on the pre-show on YouTube. For some reason they didn't want to include the match on the DVD when it's for free on YouTube, even though you could just get the show for $9.99 on the network anyway. I don't know why they would leave it off, but they did, and apparently it's costing you money. There's places where the network is not widely adopted, the DVDs are still selling, and that's apparently also a problem that Austin Aries had from the same match. So that's not great, WWE. Neville is one of their best wrestlers. He's definitely the best wrestler in the Cruiserweight division. The only one with that kind of experience in the WWE system. So losing him would be a huge blow. The confirmed departure we have is Jimmy Jacobs. After being photographed with the members of the Elite when they did their invasion of Raw, he didn't show up on Being the Elite, but he took an Instagram photo and it was said to be unprofessional. Yeah. Also, the day after that, the Bucks got their cease and desist letter about Too Sweet, and the day after that, apparently, they were contacted by 2K Games to motion capture their own moves for WWE 2K19. Because they've had the Bucks moves in for creative wrestlers, and 2K wanted to say, well, if we're going to have them in there, might as well have the real guys do them. Not good timing. Not good timing at all. That is it for news. We have gotten more information about Mania Week. Now I also have a bit.ly here for the Mania Week schedule. The link will take you to today. You got to move through to April. I recommend looking at it by week instead of by month. But we now know 20 shows that are going to be going on. On Thursday, Wildcat Wrestling, this I believe is Stevie Richards' league, which apparently is mostly his trainees. I believe they are local to the New Orleans area. They are working with High Spots as part of the WrestleCon group, so they are going to be at the Sugar Mill. They are going to be there at 6, at 6:30. Wale Mania is supposed to be there, Wale Mania 4. Don't know where that's going to be. Haven't seen any official announcement on that, just that it is going to happen. So that time is likely to change. At 8 o'clock we have an Evolve show. It appears that will be a numbered show. The WWN shows are going to be at the Pontchartrain Center, which is not walking distance from the French Quarter like the Sugar Mill is. At 9:30 we've got the WrestleCon show at the Sugar Mill, and a midnight show from Evolve that has not been announced who it is. I should say midnight show from WWN. So that is not going to be Evolve. It might be Shine, it might be Full Impact Pro, or it might be some other group that they're working with as they are working with Progress. Speaking of which, on Friday, Progress is going to be there at noon. Also at noon, Crash Lucha is going to be part of the WrestleCon High Spots group. Evolve will have a numbered show at 4. Rev Pro will be part of the WrestleCon group, also at 4. There will be the WWN Super Show that's typically Shine, Evolve, Full Impact Pro, might be IPW, probably not, but that is those groups together in a single show. Then at 9 o'clock, Global Force Wrestling or Impact. It was announced as Global Force when they were still merged, but now that they're not, I think it's Impact. That's going to be part of the WrestleCon group. And at 11:55, as part of the WWN grouping, Joey Janela's Spring Break True. And then Saturday, which is also the day of, we believe it is TakeOver. It might be Hall of Fame. At 11 a.m., you've got Pro Wrestling Revolver, Pancakes and Pile Drivers. At noon, you've got another Progress show. 4 o'clock, you've got CZW working the High Spots WrestleCon group. 4 o'clock, you also have another yet-to-be-announced WWN show. 7:30 over at UNO Lakefront, there's the ROH Supercard of Honor. 8 o'clock, yet another to-be-announced WWN show. 10 o'clock back at the Sugar Mill. You got House of Hardcore, and 11:55, one last midnight show, again from WWN. So that is, by my count, 4 unannounced WWN shows. Don't know who they're going to be yet, but we know that they've secured the space for those times. And apparently they're working with groups, or they wouldn't even have announced that much. If you have a guess for who those shows are going to be, leave it in the comments below, or leave it at the Reddit Country Club in the weekend thread. Next week on Raw, we've got a steel cage match between Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns. That is going to be one hell of a match. SmackDown, we've got a rematch between Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. And on NXT, we are getting Sanity versus the Undisputed Era, with implications that will probably go towards the next NXT takeover. We talked about that last week. Not going to go into the spoilers anymore from that. Now, upcoming shows. This is a hell of a weekend. I've got a lot of shows coming up. Tonight, 4:30 Eastern, Global Wars Columbus. This is only for ROH Ringside subscribers. It is cheap. You get a lot of archive content. It's not a deep archive, but considering how long ROH has been around, a shallow ROH archive is still a pretty good one. But this will be live streamed. You're going to have Jay Lethal versus Hiromu Takahashi, Mark Briscoe and Kenny King versus Hangman Page and Marty Scurll, Shane Taylor versus Josh Woods, the Motor City Machine Guns versus the team of Silas Young and Beer City Bruiser, Holodead versus Sumi Sakai, The Addiction versus Search and Destroy, Hung Bucks versus Best Friends and Fist Gordon, and for the ROH Championship, Cody is defending the ring against Kushida. Also tonight at 6 p.m. Evolve 94, we have so few matches actually announced. Matt Riddle versus Keith Lee. I don't believe that's a title match for Riddle's WWN title. I could be wrong. Zack Sabre Jr., I believe, is defending his Evolve Championship against Jaka. And Tracy Hot Sauce Williams is facing Fred Yehi. Those are the matches we know. Then finally at 7 o'clock on Powerbomb TV, we have Grand Slam Wrestling, Mighty Morphin Grand Slam. I don't have matches for you. Sunday, 6 Eastern, we have Evolve 95, Keith Lee versus Darby Allin, Matt Riddle versus Fred Yehi. I believe Matt Riddle might be defending his championship on this one, and Zack Sabre Jr. versus Tracy Williams. That's what I got for you. Global Wars Chicago. This is not ringside. This is an actual iPay-per-view, but it is only $19.99 as opposed to the normal $34.99. So it's a little bit cheaper. If you're not sure about Ring of Honor, this is probably going to be a better one to try out than the normal, more expensive episodes. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, we've got Mark Briscoe and Jay Lethal and Kenny King versus the team of Killer Elite Squad and Minoru Suzuki, all representing Suzuki Gun. The Addiction versus Kushida and Cheeseburger. Toru Yano versus Colt Cabana. Silas Young and the Beer City Bruiser versus the Best Friends. Will Ospreay versus Fist Gordon. Hung Bucks and Cody versus Motor City Machine Guns, Jonathan Gresham and Jay White. Marty Scurll versus Hiromu Takahashi, which is going to be a hell of a match, especially after what happened at King of Pro Wrestling with Marty trying to get his title shot against Will Ospreay. Had a little confrontation with Hiromu, so this will be a nice little callback to that. And then finally in the main event, the IWGP United States Champion Kenny Omega will defend against Yoshihashi. I cannot see Omega losing the belt on American soil to Yoshihashi, of all people. He might lose it to a Japanese wrestler eventually, but not Yoshihashi, and not in Chicago. Finally, Friday, 11 p.m. Eastern, Hood Slam, Blood Slam. Hood Slam, if you're not familiar, the way I describe it is Chikara for the High Times crowd. They don't try to pretend that wrestling has any credibility, is real at all. That's all out the window for them. They're upfront about it. They're like, if that's what you want, you're not going to like it. And for a lot of reasons, it's not my cup of tea, and that's a big part of it. But they're very committed to what they do. They had Joey Ryan on the last show as part of a battle royal. That was a lot of fun, his involvement in it. Give it a try if that sounds like something you'd like. It's on Twitch, it's free. You're not paying for it anyway. So if you're up late Friday night, give it a watch. If you don't like it, turn it off after 10 minutes. Anyway, that's all I got for you tonight. Thank you, Trampions, for checking this out. Leave your comments below. Check out the bit.lys that I put up earlier. I'll put them in the description as well. I'm here to help you out with all these different shows coming up. I would love to see you in April in New Orleans. I'm going to be out there. I can't wait for those travel packages to go on sale because I'm going to try and get the best one I can. I want to be out there take the whole week off, first vacation in years. I want to OD on wrestling, and if you're out there trying to do the same, I want to see you out there. Let me know what you're doing. Love you guys. Cheers.